Welcome, everyone, to What to Watch Live, the show where we discuss the best in TV and entertainment this week, and in this case, in the whole year. My name is David, and today I'm joined by my fellow Xfinity editors, Liz and Scott. Hello.
Hey.
Happy
Hello.
holidays, everyone.
Happy holidays.
Thanks.
Ho, ho, ho.
Hello to everyone watching us across Xfinity platforms or 24/7 on the What to Watch channel on Zumo. And we're on Twitter today. It still exists.
It does.
Somehow.
It's a Christmas miracle.
Yes. So thank you to everyone. And it is our very last show of 2022. And as always, we've got a really good one for you, especially to end the year. Coming up, we'll give you a sneak peek at our choices for the best TV shows of the year. We'll be visited by the movie Goats of Christmas Past, Present, and Future. We'll be joined by our special guest, star of the Disney Plus series National Treasure Edge of History, Catherine Zeta-Jones. We'll reveal the top 10 pieces of entertainment of all of 2022. And we'll help you organize your TV watch list for the rest of the year. But first up, it's time to celebrate the best of 2022 in a segment called Impressed and Obsessed. We are just 2 weeks away from ringing in the new year, and as always, the Xfinity editors are reflecting on the last 12 months with a celebration of our favorite TV shows, movies, songs, albums, artists, games, and so much more. Just say Best of 2022 into your voice remote to access our comprehensive collection of the year's best entertainment, starting with our 100 Best of Everything countdown, featuring everything you should have watched, listened to, and known about in 2022. What's number one? Stay tuned, because we're going to tell you later on the show, not quite yet. As we move down the collection, you'll find the best TV shows and movies included with your Xfinity services and any streaming platforms you subscribe to. And speaking of streaming, you'll find the 12 best TV shows and movies from 14 different streaming services, including Netflix, Hulu, HBO Max, Apple TV+, Peacock, Prime Video, and more. Next up, we looked at every TV show that premiered or aired a new season in 2022 and selected our favorites in 24 different categories, including popular categories like Best Drama, Best Reality Series, Best Comedy, as well as a few unique categories like Best Guilty Pleasure, Best Canceled Show, and Best Series Finale. These truly are the best of the best. And last but not least, cue up the Sarah McLachlan, because our TV in Memoriam section pays tribute to the shows we said farewell to this year, whether they came to an end willingly, were ripped from the airwaves too soon, or were simply here for a limited time only. You'll also find a row of our favorite new shows of 2022, as well as the best of movies, sports, news, music, Black experience, kids and family, Latino, international, and LGBTQ+. And in honor of our best of 2022 collection, Scott, Liz, and I are going to announce 3 of our best of the best category winners right here live on the show. First up, he's the star of Xfinity's What to Watch Live and Hangouts, here to present the award for Best Reality Series. Please welcome Scott.
Hi. Hello. I don't have any fun intro music. I want to come out to Lizzo, David. God.
Oh, about damn time. In a minute, I'm gonna need a sentimental man or woman.
I am all of those things, just so we're clear. Awesome. So after you went through that rundown of the destination, I was just kind of like shocked that none of us picked fun categories to go through. We just picked the basic categories to run through. It's like, okay, whatever. We're saving the good stuff for you to check it out at home on your own. So I chose Best Reality Series. There's quite a few good ones here, some of which I watch and some that I do not watch. Let's start with the one that I don't watch, The Kardashians. Not my thing, not my cup of tea. Still trying to figure out how Paris Hilton's closet organizer got her own show and kind of took off. But it's there. It's on Hulu. People really like it. It's a bit of a phenomenon. If that's your cup of tea, Cool. Awesome. Got RuPaul's Drag Race All-Stars on this list, which is really an amazing one. This is the first time that they brought back all winners for a season. So the caliber of talent was truly next level. I mean, just Jinx Monsoon's Judy Garland impersonation for Snatch Game was honestly the best of the best television. I don't know why that's not in the best of the 2022 calendar. It's upsetting, but whatever. Well, moving on.
It is one of the top 100.
It is indeed, but not her performance in particular, which I feel like, really shook the world. It shook the world, David. We got Below Deck. This is the OG Below Deck here. There's a couple of reasons why this one was included here. We have our first male chief stew ever in Fraser. An LGBTQ plus man. He's fun, good time. Saw him at BravoCon, love it. There's also this Captain Lee storyline where he's struggling to recover from surgery. Is this will he, won't he, in terms of like staying on ship. Very excited to see how that one plays out. But it's a fantastic series and definitely one of my personal favorites. And of course, we have The Rehearsal, the HBO Max series that was just absolutely bonkers. Not something I ever would have thought would be on my list in particular. But yeah, Nathan Fielder, sort of elaborately stages these scenarios where he recreates parts of like an ordinary person's life so that they can prepare for a big moment or what is considered a big moment for them. It's a wild ride. But okay, y'all ready to see who won here?
Yes.
And also, just so we're clear, this isn't my pick. This is like the world's pick. Just kidding. It's our picks. All right. Let's go. The winner is The Rehearsal on HBO Max. I mean, just for sheer, like, the fact that this is real, like this is reality alone is, I think, part of the reason why this deserves to win. Like, they have like a construction crew, a legion of actors, and like seemingly unlimited resources to come together, like to pull together these moments and elaborately stage out all of the different ways that this scenario could go so that this person can kind of like prepare themselves for what is like, for some people would just be like a meaningless, like everyday task, right?
Yeah.
It's just insane. I really love this show. It was unnerving and just a wild ride. The entire time it's just like mouth on the ground or jaw on the ground, just kind of like, why? How is this a thing? How much money did they throw at this production? Like, do these people really exist? It's bonkers. So truly deserving of best reality series. No qualms here with this pick. So thank you, world, for picking this one, aka us.
It was one of the most, if not the most creative series, certainly the most creative reality series of the year. I think part of what you're referring to in like the unlimited resources is that they built an entire bar from New York City from scratch down to the last details, recreated it. So a man could practice breaking bad news or telling a friend he had been lying about something and rehearsing that over and over again. And then when he moved on to another project, decided he wanted the bar on the West Coast, and they relocated it, but it couldn't fit in the warehouse, so they cut the top off of it. Like, they transferred an entire bar across the country.
It's insane. They also like brought in all of these children actors for this one woman, like of varying ages, and child actor laws, they can only be there for so many hours, so they have to keep switching them in and out. It's insane. They blanketed her entire yard with fake snow so that they could pretend it's Christmas. It's just like, it was insane. Like the levels that they went to kind of make the scenario seem real to the person that was involved. And there were, varying levels of success and people who were more invested in the process than others. But it was a really cool series. Super, super fun. Really love this one.
It's been renewed for a second season too.
Ooh,
very
awesome.
Wow.
I literally had to argue with my friends. They're like, "This isn't real." I'm like, "This is real. Like, I swear to God, this is real. This is a real show. Like, stop arguing with me. I didn't like. I'm not on their payroll, but I just want you to know it's a real thing. Like, all right.
Well,
Liz,
I've been influenced, so it's on my list. I have not seen it,
Ooh.
so I've been influenced. I got to check it out.
Buckle up, Liz. You're in for a ride.
Can't wait.
All right.
Speaking of Liz, next up, she's the star of Xfinity What to Watch Live and Hangouts, here to present the award for Best Docu-Series. Please welcome Liz.
So talk about some heavy content. Scott, as we were preparing for this, I thought the same thing. Like, wow, I mean, I couldn't have picked like a heavier topic, I feel like, especially with the contenders here, right? So here are the top picks here. So Keep Sweet, Pray and Obey on Netflix. If you have not seen or heard about this, this is the docuseries that really follows Jeffs, who is Warren Jeffs, who is already serving a lifetime prison sentence on top of an additional 20 years for, I guess, getting people to believe that he was a prophet, starting, underage marriages within his congregation of believers. And it's just an interesting story. So I have to admit that I did watch it. And I've watched almost all of these. And I didn't realize that I was really as into docuseries as I was going through this. Like, oh, wow, I really did see all of these. I'm just very interested, but they are heavy, right? So the BMF documentary, this is Blowing Money Fast on Hulu. It follows the Black Mafia family who ended up being and creating the largest cocaine empire in all of America. And so just watching how they came to power and then how quickly that fell through their fingers as well. The Tinder Swindler, I feel like all of us have known, heard, saw this. This was on Netflix, and this follows, a scammer who on Tinder gets people to he connects with them and gets people to fall for his little scam of, I've got enemies and they're coming after me. And I'm trying not to be judgmental, but I have a hard time if anybody would say, I'm going to need $50,000. Can you please get a loan out for me and send that off to me? So either way. And I will say that Menudo Forever Young is also on this list. It's also, Menudo was my absolute favorite boy band growing up, and I followed them. They were my first concert. This actually follows that. It started in 1977, follows how they went through that, how they started, how they kept swapping kids out just to keep it fresh. And a friend of the family. So a friend of the family also on Peacock, really a creepy story about a girl, true story, who gets kidnapped more than once by the same person and survives the sexual abuse and gets to live through that and tells the story. So, and I think I gave you an extra one, guys. So yes, I'm a little nuts today. I'm super, super excited about the docuseries category. And so our winner, please, let's bring this home. Our winner for the best docuseries in all of 2022 is...
David's gargling right now.
Tinder Swindler.
Swindler.
I mean, I'm not surprised. Let's be for real. I thought that this one is just so relevant and so real to us right now that I think as much as it's unbelievable to me, I think it was something that everybody could really connect with and feel and feel really passionate about this docuseries. So I'm not surprised. They got it right. The world, got it right with this category and this winner. I've talked enough.
Didn't this guy get like a series or something, like, or he's getting jobs offers or something after this? It's like, did we not learn from the fact that he's a horrible person?
Made him famous. We totally made him famous. He's still making money. He's still out there. And living his life, his best life, I feel like, honestly.
Insanity.
It's also insanity. Worth noting outside of the Tinder Swindler that A Friend of the Family is actually not a docu-series. It's the fictional retelling of a docu-series called Abducted in Plain Sight, which is on Netflix. And this is the dramatic retelling. So it is it's like a biopic.
Well, here we go. Here's one for you, David. Coming up this season, there's actually going to be a docu-series about the Friend of the Family series that is going to be on Peacock. So keep an eye out for that.
Wait, a docu-series about the docu-series retelling?
Yes.
Oh, wow! It's all come full circle.
Yep, exactly. So
I love this choice of Tinder Swindler because it really was it was pretty early in the year too. I think it was like January, February, like one of those things that we forgot about, but it was kind of like, I remember my jaw dropping and was like, how did these people not know this guy was scamming them?
Right.
Like the photos of him bloody in the back of the ambulance being like, we've been attacked. My enemies are after me. Like
my bodyguard is hurt. Look at him.
It became kind of a meme.
Yeah, it's a shame. And you know what? There's a new series out that was not out when we put this list in, and just want to mention it, that I'm pretty sure that it's gonna do really well. It's already doing well, and it's the Harry and Meghan docu-series on Netflix. Yeah.
Oh, oof. Controversial.
It is. I feel like all of these are. Let's be for real.
The Guardian coming after you.
All right. And finally, he's the star of Xfinity What to Watch Live and Hangouts, here to present the award for Best International Series. It's me.
Wait, who is the actual star, David? I need to know. Which one of us is the real star? Oh, she's got cards.
Oh my gosh, she's got a card.
I can't.
You don't have to travel to other countries to watch the best TV shows from around the world. Here are 4 international shows from 2022 that were Love at First Flight.
Oh, no.
And the nominees are Lorena Del Sur.
David, what does Lorena Del Sur mean?
Say that again.
It's not on my card. Dairy Girls.
Can you say it in the accent, please?
Dairy Girls.
Yes.
Little Women. And Pachinko. And the award goes to Pachinko on Apple TV Plus.
Accepting on behalf of Pachinko, we have David.
It's me. I don't have anything here. I was looking for something to hold my cup. Thank you.
There you go.
If you are someone who recently discovered Korean entertainment with the popular Netflix series Squid Game or the 2019 Oscar-winning film Parasite, you will absolutely love Pachinko. The series is based on a New York Times best-selling book following a Korean immigrant family across 4 generations as they build their lives in a new land. Pachinko has already been renewed for a 2nd season on Apple TV Plus and boasts a 97% on Rotten Tomatoes, making it one of the best reviewed new shows of the entire year. It's epic. It's emotional. It's like truly one of those sweeping TV experiences that you should dive into. If you appreciate good storytelling, it's definitely like a good holiday binge, I think, while you're sitting at home in between like Christmas and New Year's, maybe. And it's also worth mentioning that the other 4 nominees are also very, very good. Like, especially Dairy Girls, which I love. It has season 3 was the series finale. It was the last season, 100% on Rotten Tomatoes. It's just this beautiful story about these 4 girls who go to Catholic school in Northern Ireland, set in the 90s. It's just like brilliantly funny. This is one where you will have to likely put on subtitles until your ear warms up to the Irish. It's one of Scott's biggest pet peeves, but it's hard to understand. Don't get me off track.
I'm getting you off track.
If you still want to complain about it, go ahead.
I need to complain. I cannot stand when series post or burn in subtitles for people who are speaking English just because there is an accent. Just be better. Understand your language.
That Irish accent is very difficult to understand.
But go on.
Little Women is a like Korean adaptation of the classic Little Women story. It got a ton of buzz over the season, over the summer, but like really died out pretty quickly. But I was able to watch a few episodes. I did not get to finish it, to be honest with you. But it was very good. Great storytelling, well acted, and it does have subtitles because it's not in English language. So there's that. I actually do not watch Lorena Del Sur, but I believe Liz does.
Well, I actually haven't seen all seasons or all episodes, but I did just recently have a hangout with Kate del Castillo, who is plays Teresa Mendoza as in La Reina del Sur. So yeah, really cool. And if you haven't checked that out, I mean, Kate del Castillo, who plays the main character, is phenomenal, and it, I think, is one of your top choices for a reason. Like, she's a baddie in this show, so definitely something to check out.
And it's vastly popular. Are you telling me this is not pronounced La Reina del Sur?
No, close. This is the original. So if you've heard of or have watched Queen of the South, that's what this means. It's the same thing. So it's the Queen of the South. And so yeah. So there are two series actually, but this was the original in Spanish, La Reina del Sur.
Perfect.
Yeah.
What a way to bring it home. And you can check out all of our TV winners, 24 different categories, and so much more by staying Best of 2022 into your remote. It's well worth checking out. You'll get an idea of everything you need to finish in the next 2 weeks before the new year. Like, you're on the clock, so get started. Next up, you will be visited by 3 goats in a segment called Ultimate Deep Dive. We are less than a week away from Christmas, and while Scott, Liz, and I aren't typically a bunch of Scrooges, we were recently visited by 3 goats of Christmas. Yes, that's right, 3 goats, as in the greatest of all time. And now, we ask you to gather around the fireplace as we tell you a tale of holiday movies that had us saying, bah, humbug.
I really see, okay, can we just, before we start this is exactly why I wanted to call it Goats of Christmas, because I knew that this is what would happen here. First off, your delivery of Goats of Christmas, visited by Goats of Christmas, is just iconic. But the just icing on the cake, so good. Oh my god! Okay, let's go. Let's roll.
Thank you. First up, I was visited by the Goat of Christmas Past. It is Frank Capra's 1946 holiday classic, It's a Wonderful Life. This truly is one of my favorite movies of all time, even outside the holiday genre. For those of you who aren't familiar, and how can you not be, but maybe you're super young and I don't know. The movie is based on a short story, The Greatest Gift, and stars Jimmy Stewart as George Bailey, a small town man with big dreams who contemplates taking his own life when the world seems to be crashing around him. But a guardian angel named Clarence, played by Henry Travers, saves the day by showing George Bailey what the world would be like if he never existed, showing him how many lives he's touched along the way. Although It's a Wonderful Life originally received mixed critical reviews and tanked at the box office, it is widely considered one of the greatest movies ever made and was nominated for 6 Academy Awards. Interestingly enough, the film was awarded just 1 Oscar, but it was given to Russell Shearman and the RKO Radio Studio Special Effects Department, which invented a brand new method of creating falling snow for the movie using water, soap flakes, and foamite. Previously, movie productions created snow using corn flakes, but it was crunching so loud when actors were stepping on it that they had to redub all the audio in the studio afterwards. It's a Wonderful Life
every time,
right? It's a Wonderful Life is also notable for introducing the world to one of film's greatest villains, Mr. Henry F. Potter, who was masterfully played by Drew Barrymore's great uncle Lionel Barrymore. There are also some people out there who refuse to acknowledge It's a Wonderful Life as a Christmas movie simply because like 90% of it doesn't take place during the holiday season. But if you can't see why, this movie is the cinematic embodiment of the holiday season, maybe you're the one who should be visited by a goat.
Ooh, a goat. Look at that. Hang
on.
David, don't you have a fun fact about this image here and the lead actor and the kids? I feel like I remember you saying something about that. No? Am I going crazy? About him not being very happy with the children on set? I can't remember. I feel like
I don't think I told you that.
Ooh,
I mean,
where did
I
that
love
come
that.
from? Yeah, I feel like, yeah, now that's all I see now. I see that kid hanging off of his neck, and I'm like, he just went strangling him.
Zuzu's choking him.
Exactly.
I don't know.
Never
I love
mind.
this movie.
I thought that was you, but maybe not. Here we are.
Who knows what I say sometimes? All these factoids.
I
Liz,
love it. I love it.
I hear you were also visited by a goat of Christmas entertainment. Please tell us about it.
I was actually. My goat does not speak, so you will be getting no sound effects from this. But here's the deal. My pick is not a movie that I would usually think. This is a holiday movie that I absolutely need to see because I'm a little more warm and fuzzy and, wanting to sip the hot cocoa by the fire and have a, little romantic type of holiday movie. But guess what? Violent Night looks amazing. And I'll be honest with you, it is now going to be part of my new tradition because we are going to watch this movie this weekend after seeing the trailers over and over again. I've got the whole family so excited to go and see this. This is out now in theaters. It's a Universal picture, and it really is such an interesting storyline. So it's a group of criminals led by John Leguizamo who invade an estate of a multi-million-dollar family, and Santa just happens to be coming and visiting this family at the same time, and boy, are they in for a shock. The Santa is played by David Harbour of Stranger Things. I mean, it is funny, it is action-packed, and there is some Christmas magic in there as well. So this is, for me, the GOAT of Christmas present. So definitely add it onto your list for sure.
Scott, did you see it yet? I have seen it.
I have not seen it yet, David, but I know you also have a history with Mr. Harbour as well.
I should have known.
Not in a bad way. I've interviewed him.
Him and David Harbour were beefing, It was a lot.
He is fantastic. He's so nice. It is very much, it is essentially Die Hard meets Bad Santa. That's really, people have said that, but it's true. There are even some scenes that are feel like they were just lifted from Die Hard, and that's not a bad thing, and I'm sure it was probably intentional. But David Harbour's Santa is kind of like jaded by the whole Christmas process. He's been doing it for years and years, and he meets a little girl who's kind of like restored his faith in humanity, and that's what drives him to save this family. I was surprised by the amount of heart in this. It really, for all the violence, there is like a good amount of sentimentality and that Christmas spirit that comes out, but also it's so bloody and so brutal and has one of the best kills in even in a horror movie that I've seen in a while. It comes right at the end. It's like,
is it candy cane related?
Oh,
no,
nice.
but there's candy cane deaths. But it is the last
kill. You can't have a holiday horror movie or horror without having a candy cane death.
Oh, he does it. And there is a kill. It's the last one of the movie that was very imaginative, and I really appreciated it. And it's interesting to kind of delve into Santa's like Norse heritage, like looking back at him as like a Saint Nick as like a Viking. It's really cool. It's more than I expected. It's more than I expected it to be, and it performed better than people thought it would. It's already grossed several millions over forecast. So,
oh wow,
great news for Violent Night.
Do you think we'll get a Violent Night 2 where he faces off with Krampus?
100% will get a sequel. Like, it probably costs almost nothing to make this movie. I'm sure they'll make a profit, and we'll get another one. We'll get another Violent Night before we get another Black Adam.
Oh, wow. Shots fired at The Rock.
Man.
So sick of hearing The Rock talk about Black Adam. Sorry, Rock. Whatever.
Tell us how you really feel, David.
I'm going to be visited by the ghost of The Rock.
The ghost of Black Adam,
yeah. Going to get some coal in the form of The Rock.
Scott, you were visited by a goat as well, the goat of Christmas Future.
Yeah, I know.
Please
Hard
tell
to
us.
believe, right? Listen, none of us here are Miss Cleo, at least to my knowledge. I mean, David, have you been secretly Miss Cleo this entire time?
Call me now.
I knew it. I knew it. So I can't tell you what holiday specials are going to be coming out in the future. If I had to guess, it'd be a lot of the same. Hopefully, fingers crossed, with a little bit more diversity in the representation. Candace Cameron.
Oh,
Come after me. Let's go.
shots fired.
So I bet
Love
you're
it.
thinking, Scott, how are you going to pick the goats of Christmas Future? Ugh, well, I took a different approach here, so work with me. I decided to go holiday set in the future or, in space. And turns out there aren't even that many of those. But there are a few. Like, example, Santa Claus Conquers the Martians, a gloriously bad camp fest that, everything you need to know is in the title there. You got Prometheus, worth watching strictly for the drunk Idris Elba scene in the Christmas tree alone. But, maybe leave before the alien fetus abortion scene, unless that's your cup of tea. But, go, do you. I'm not here to judge. But yeah, what I ultimately landed on was the new Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special, which actually serves as a bridge between the last Guardians of the Galaxy film and the upcoming sequel. So, future? Yeah, right? Yeah. It works. This is actually a really fun watch. The Guardians are on a mission to make Christmas unforgettable for Quill and decide to go to Earth in search of the perfect Christmas present, which just happens to be my personal buddy, Kevin Bacon. It obviously, craziness ensues. It's a good time. Lots of fighting and Christmas lights and just good times, fun, good times. And the heart of Christmas is there. And you get some new original Christmas music. So what's not to love here?
They've also picked out like the two most fun Guardian characters and just put them in this like pure fun, but also like there's a lot of heart in it. But like heart. Mantis and Drax are so much fun. You put them together and put them in like on Earth. It's just a really good time.
Yeah, I mean, it's just the I guess the naivety and like the innocence of the two of them, and like not having any awareness of how things work, on Earth. It's just really the inflatables, like the whole scene where she's going after like the glow candy cane and she insists on taking it with her and then proceeds to use it to like beat down police officers and like other people. It's insanity, but it's a lot of fun, and yeah, definitely worth your time, whether now or in the future.
And I think this is actually like maybe James Gunn's like swan song in the Marvel universe before he moves on to DC, where he will listen to The Rock talk about Black Adam like incessantly. So Godspeed, James Gunn.
Yeah, God, you got a lot of. We're gonna get some hate mail from Candace Cameron and Rock.
Don't send this to The Rock, please. Don't send this to The Rock.
Tag The Rock right now in the comments, please.
Oh God! Well, check out. Those were our ghosts. We were visited. We're saved. Check out the movies we just talked about, plus all of your favorite holiday TV specials, movies, songs, and so much more by simply saying "holiday" into your voice remote. Next up, Catherine Zeta-Jones. That's not a thing.
Jada Essence Hall.
Yeah. Jada Pinkett Smith. Catherine Zeta-Jones is here to steal your heart and the Declaration of Independence.
What?
In a segment called Hangouts and Extras.
You can tell this is the last show. You can tell this is the last show.
We're on vacation.
We're getting it all out.
The brand new action-adventure series National Treasure: Edge of History premiered last week on Disney Plus and follows a brilliant and resourceful young woman who is unexpectedly tasked with protecting a centuries-old treasure with ties to her family's mysterious past. I recently sat down with Oscar-winning actor Catherine Zeta-Jones to talk about the new series in which she plays a cunning black market antiques dealer. Let's check out a bit of our conversation.
This holds a clue to a treasure of utmost importance. I thought about destroying it 1,000,000 times.
Look at these symbols.
In order to prevent it falling into the wrong hands.
The daughters of the plumed serpent were here.
So we're talking like an honest-to-God treasure map.
Yeah.
Where did you get that necklace?
It was my dad's. He died when I was a baby.
What is it? That's the symbol on your necklace.
I know.
What if I told you everything you know about your dad is a lie?
Relic leads to an important treasure, and searching for it is dangerous.
I know it is.
The main character, Jess, is somewhat of an expert at solving puzzles, and it really spoke to me as someone who loves puzzles and puzzle-heavy video games like Legend of Zelda. And I wondered if you have any favorite puzzles. Are you by chance like a secret video gamer?
I'm not. I've never done that, and it's funny because my kids, they went through a phase of, we want to, every Christmas, like new games. They weren't crazy gamers, but I got so fascinated by it, by that world, I love crossword puzzles. I really do. And word searches. I'm not a number girl, so numbers are not good for me, but words and crosswords are great. But you know what I do love? I love a good pair of virtual reality glasses.
Nice.
I could, when they first came out, of course, it's like it's going to make me dizzy. I'm claustrophobic. I'm not doing that. And then, okay, my kids are like, it's my turn. Nope, not finish it. So, but no, I'm not. I don't have any secret. I could never do the Rubik's Cube. And I took, probably 40 years of my life trying to do the Rubik's Cube. Never finished it. I was able to take it apart and illegally put it back together, but I was never able to actually do it.
Yeah, my brain doesn't work that way either.
I love history, and I love, finding treasures. I'm always on the hunt of finding the lost Picasso, or, wherever I go, you can find me in the markets. You can find me at the souks in Mexico, in Morocco. I'm always on the hunt, and a lot of the stuff that I own has been found whilst I've been on locations in some crazy country for months, and finding mementos that mean probably nothing or cost really nothing, but actually mean a lot to me, because it always takes me back to, when I see it, it takes me back to that time, those emotions, the smells, the sounds, the anxiety, all those different emotions. I love that.
Hey, didn't recognize I'm wearing like the same thing. National Treasure.
Wow. Didn't recognize.
No, I thought it was still me. I thought I was still interviewing her. National Treasure.
Just for the record, you're a national treasure.
Oh,
Just wanted to get that out there before the end of the year.
I appreciate it. National Treasure. Edge of History is, as you probably guessed, a spinoff of the popular film franchise starring Nicolas Cage. While there is no Nicolas Cage in this appearances in the episodes that I saw, there is a tie-in to at least one character. It's Harvey Keitel's character that you see in the trailer. So if you're a big fan of the films, you might just be into this show. And Catherine was very lovely to take you into. I'm going to give you a little inside peek into the process of these interviews, because maybe that interests people. I had 4 minutes with Catherine Zeta-Jones. Sometimes that's the way it goes. I said hello to Catherine Zeta-Jones, and I had an icebreaker line, just a casual, like just whatever. And she talked for 4 minutes straight.
Listen, sometimes you want that out of an interview, because
not this time.
Well, no, of course. I'm sure you had really fabulous questions for her. She's Catherine Zeta-Jones, but sometimes you're like, oh, what am I going to ask this person? Is this good? They give you nothing. They give you like half minute answers to questions, and you're like, well, 15 minutes of this is going to be fun.
Yeah.
I mean, when you asked her the puzzle question, she could have just said no.
Yeah, of course. She was so kind and she's so professional. And obviously she's been doing this for long enough that she knew I got to get in all this. I got to sell the show. And that's what she did. She sold the show. And then I was like, I have a question to ask in this interview. And that was what I asked as they were telling me, you got to wrap up. And I was like, I'm going to ask this question. So I think I probably got however long she talked there was in addition to the 4 minutes I was allotted. So appreciate Catherine giving me that extra time, whether she realized she was doing it or not. Thank you to Disney for allowing me to have that extra time. And actually the show's like a lot of fun. Scott, you would like it because it is very puzzle heavy. And there's those little things that you see that like tick that little like thing in your brain that you have when you've played a lot of puzzle based video games. And you're like, oh, I want to move those things
love that.
around.
I love that. And anything that reminds me of Lara Croft's like Tomb Raider, especially the ones with Angelina Jolie, which were proper camp fests, but like they kind of go down this, they're tied with history, and they're also set in exotic locations, but there's the puzzles and kind of like all of that history element to it. I love that. It's fun. So yes, definitely up my alley.
Yeah. And the lead actress here, Lizette Oliveira, the character, this is like one of her first roles, I believe. And the character she plays is a DACA recipient living in the US. And there's a lot going on in the sense that she wants to be involved in like searching for this treasure and wants to be, her dream is to like be a puzzle solver for the FBI. I'm forgetting the actual like code, what the word is for it, like some sort of cracking codes or whatever.
Code cracker.
But she's also risking getting in trouble and being deported. But there's also elements of the fact that she wants to be involved with the FBI, but she's an immigrant. Like there's a lot going on there. It's great representation. She's a fantastic actress, and I think she's already got her second job lined up. Like she's going to be a big star, I'm sure. So yeah, all good things to say about it.
Lovely.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Oh,
great job, David. Great
thanks.
job.
Hello, punch in.
Yeah. You basically saw my entire Catherine Zeta-Jones interview there. There's nothing left. There will be no longer hangout. That's it. You saw the whole thing. Minus the 4 minutes where she just told me how great the show was. Which is
worth hearing from her mouth, honestly.
Yeah, for sure.
It was. I was inspired. Check out National Treasure, Edge of History on Disney Plus right now by saying the title of the show or Disney Plus into your voice remote. And check out all of our celebrity interviews by saying Hangouts into your voice remote. Liz has a new Hangout episode with Wednesday star Jenna Ortega. Also, as she mentioned, Kate Del Castillo.
That's it.
Kate Del Costello.
You got it.
Liz has that as well. Scott has an interview with the cast of White Lotus.
Yeah.
He's also recently interviewed Alexandra Daddario for Mayfair Witches.
And Tegan and Sarah.
And I'll have an episode coming up, likely not until January, with the cast of HBO's The Last of Us, which premieres next year.
Nice.
So excited.
With Pedro Pascal, Bella Ramsey. Very excited for that. Hey, next up, it's the final countdown of 2022 in a segment called Featured Collection.
Liz, you got that good son, just like I normally do. Come on, Liz is breaking out of jail.
I'll sit back here.
Look,
hey, there it is.
Yeah.
There have been episodes where I've had to scoot my chair along, and my background is casually changing as we get through the episode. Look, you're in good company. Don't worry.
The joy of filming at home.
Yes.
Hey, every December, the Xfinity editors sit down in front of a massive whiteboard. We're around a big old table, and we choose the 100 best TV shows, movies, songs, albums, artists, video games, and cultural moments of the year, and assemble them like the Avengers in a ranked countdown called the 100 Best of Everything. Just say Best of 2022. into your voice remote and click the 100 Best of Everything banner at the top of the page to check out the full countdown after the show, because right now we're going to reveal our picks for the top 10 best pieces of entertainment in all of 2022. Are y'all ready?
Woo!
We're going to start off with 10 through 6. Coming in at number 10, you knew it was going to be on the list. It's HBO Max's Game of Thrones prequel series, House of the Dragon. Based on the book Fire, and were you just suppressing a yawn?
No, I was exhaling deeply. It's not my, I really wasn't yawning, I promise you.
He was debating whether he was going to
feelings about this one, and
just let me get through my.
I know you're. That's why I held my breath, and you had to call me out.
Yeah,
let's go, David. Come on. I was holding my breath.
Based on the book Fire and Blood by George R.R. Martin, the series is set 200 years before the events of Game of Thrones and tells the story of the Targaryen Civil War. The show broke HBO's record for the most watched series premiere in network history, drawing in nearly 10 million viewers when it debuted on August 21st, and it currently boasts 93% on Rotten Tomatoes. In terms of TV shows and TV events, this was the biggest of the year. But, some mixed reviews, especially from fans, so that's why it sits firmly at number 10. Go ahead, Scott. What is it?
I don't have much to say here. I get it. I get why it's included here. I didn't watch Game of Thrones. I wasn't really that big of a fan. So I tried watching this, not having a lot of the background of the original series. And I just found it to not be my cup of tea. But there's a lot of talking. It was very dark. I don't really just couldn't get with it. So I tried 4 or 5 episodes. I don't know. And I was just like, well, I don't really care how this ends. So moving on.
Yeah.
That's my thing. But yeah, I totally get why it's there. And
cool. Yeah.
At least it was a thumbs up. I thought it was gonna be like a.
Oh no, I can appreciate when something is zeitgeisty and and why it deserves its place and where within a list like this, but it doesn't necessarily have to be my cup of tea. So.
Well, number 9, I think, is one we agree on. It's probably one of my favorite movies of the year. It is The Batman, which you can currently watch on HBO Max. This gritty franchise reboot stars Robert Pattinson as young Bruce Wayne and his early career crime-fighting alter ego Batman, who is trying to track down an elusive killer called the Riddler. Released on March 4th, The Batman grossed more than $770 million worldwide and is the 5th highest grossing movie of the year, behind Minions: The Rise of Gru, Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, Jurassic World Dominion, and one of the other movies in our top 10, which I won't spoil just yet. Thoughts on Batman?
I'm here for a superhero, especially a gritty superhero movie. So yeah, no complaints. Number 9, totally get it.
Perfect. 8. Number 8 is going to make Liz very happy. It's Un Verano Sin Ti, the 4th studio album by none other than Puerto Rican rapper and singer Bad Bunny. Released on May 6th, the album debuted at number 1 on the Billboard 200, becoming only the 2nd all-Spanish language album to top that chart in history. Do you all know what the first all-Spanish language album to top the Billboard 200 was?
Was it Selena?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, it'll feel obvious once you say it.
Yeah. It was also Bad Bunny.
Oh.
The 2020 album El Último Tour del Mundo. That was the first one.
I love that.
Un Verano Sin Ti is nominated for Album of the Year at the 65th Annual Grammy Awards in February, and I think probably has a pretty good chance if he can get past Taylor Swift, who I'm sure put up some stiff competition.
Not with Taylor's army.
That's true.
No. Liz, you are a Bad Bunny fan, right?
I am.
Okay.
Benito that's his real name. He's just so awesome. And I think that is what is capturing the world, honestly, is just how real, how gritty he is, how fluid he is. He doesn't conform to anything and is very candid in all of his interviews. And I think it's what everybody needs and wants right now. And he's giving everybody that. And it's an international phenomenon. I mean, what he's doing is amazing. And yes, we listen, we dance, we sing all of Bad Bunny songs.
Liz, just between us squirrel friends, why do you know this? Maybe he's actually publicly announced it. Why does he go by Bad Bunny? I've never known a bunny to be bad.
Yeah, I'm not really sure. Like, he does talk about it in one of his interviews. I have no idea why he ended up coming up with Bad Bunny, but people call him that. People refer to him as Bad. People refer to him as Bad Bunny, and lots of Benito. So it's just he's such a cool guy. He's so down to earth. Yeah, I'm happy to see him on here for sure.
I love Bad Bunny for a whole different reason, is because he wrestled a match at, I believe, WrestleMania.
Yeah.
And he was awesome. Like, he clearly put in the work to like train and learn like the art of pro wrestling. And there's this thing that people do when they're not in the world of wrestling, and they try and wrestle, where they like hesitate a lot. And they're not really good at what they call selling, which is like acting like you're hurt, taking a kick to the gut, taking a punch to the face. But he was so good at it. You believed it. And I think, he's also in the movie, I believe, Bullet Train. I think he's in that too. So like, it's no wonder that he's getting acting jobs now, because he was excellent and he handled the physicality well. Like, I respect so much somebody who was like, I want to go in and do this. And he really gave it his all. So like, to be that multi-talented is just ridiculous. Just so jealous.
Yeah. Shout out to Bad Bunny.
We'll jump to number 7. It is one of, if not the best comedy on television today. It is Abbott Elementary, created by and starring Philadelphia native Quinta Brunson. This ABC mockumentary series, which you can also watch on Hulu, follows the lives of teachers working at an underfunded, predominantly Black public school in Philadelphia. The series' first season was nominated for 5 Primetime Emmy Awards, including 2 for supporting actress, which was awarded to Cheryl Lee. 5 Primetime Emmys, and they won 2. One for supporting actress, which was awarded to Cheryl Lee Ralph, and 1 for outstanding writing for a comedy series, which was awarded to Quinta Brunson. Scott, I know you are a big fan of this one.
Huge fan. Really love this series. It's just great representation. I think it's brought sitcoms back to a place that I think that they needed to go. It's heartfelt, it's fun. We'll have little lessons in each of them, but they don't always take themselves too seriously. There are episodes that are just ridiculous and silly. Like there's a candy episode or a Halloween episode where they get trapped in the school, and the kids are just basically becoming candy zombies because they get access to all of the candy, and it's just phenomenal. And Janelle James as Ava, or Principal Ava, is truly something. Highly recommend to anyone who wants just a good laugh and an easy watch. It's just simple. I can't say enough how much I appreciate 30-minute shows. As someone who has to watch television for a living, as part of my job, having something that's a little bit shorter, easy to kind of jump in, and you don't have to like always be so kind of involved in it. It's fun. Good times.
Yeah. Liz, do you watch?
I don't, no, but I can appreciate, I know enough about it. I know people who do watch, and to Scott's point, I love the representation. I'm always so Philly proud to see all of that come through too. So yeah.
We even get gritty.
Yeah.
Gritty. Rounding out 10 through 6. It is English singer-songwriter Kate Bush, who saw a career resurgence this summer after her 1985 song Running Up That Hill was featured during a pivotal scene in Stranger Things Season 4. The 37-year-old song jumped to number 2 on the UK singles chart, just behind Harry Styles' as it was. And in the US, running up that hill, peaked at number 3 on the Billboard Hot 100 chart, making it the first time Kate Bush cracked the top 10 in the States. In fact, the song was so popular, it lifted her entire album, Hounds of Love, to number 1 on the Billboard Top Alternative Albums chart, making it the first US chart-topping album of her career. Kind of crazy, a single song in a TV show can do this.
Listen, as far as I'm concerned, Kate Bush never went anywhere. I mean, like, Running Up That Hill, Wuthering Heights, Babushka, all of these songs feature very, very heavily here for me, and they always have. They're just phenomenal. So love to see that she's kind of getting recognized, but stop acting brand new. This has been around forever. Have better taste in music. It shouldn't take a series to make you come and find really incredible music. Know your history. Just
no disrespect at all, but she hasn't had a studio album since 2011, so it has been a long time since she's put out new music. That's fine.
I get it. But she's a legend, an icon. Yeah. You should know these things, like you know Whitney Houston, like you know anybody else. I don't know why I just said Whitney Houston randomly out of it. There's tons of other singers, but. You should know Kate Bush. If you don't know Kate Bush, check it out. The things that she does vocally, her music, it's really incredible, and you're missing out if you don't. So there, that's it. Woo!
I love the Kim Petras version of.
Oh my God, David, I am signing off. Can we move to number 5, please, right now?
We can
before we start down this path.
Let's pull up 5 through 1. 5. We're gonna reveal them one at a time now to really build the suspense.
The tension.
Coming in at number 5, it's a show I don't think any of us saw coming at the beginning of this year. It's the FX and Hulu restaurant dramedy The Bear, created by Rami producer and director Christopher Storer. The Bear follows an award-winning fine dining chef who returns home to Chicago to save his family's Italian beef sandwich shop. The Bear, which premiered on June 23rd, currently boasts a 100% fresh rating on Rotten Tomatoes and has been praised for its anxiety-inducing storytelling, immersive direction, and the performance of its star, Jeremy Allen White. As someone who worked in a restaurant and the restaurant industry for many, many years, this one is really, really hard for me to watch because I literally, honestly, still have nightmares nearly 20 years later that I cannot get to my tables in time, that everyone needs something. I forgot to put in drinks. They need their check. It's still things that really mess with my head when I'm sleeping. So this one was tough, but it's fantastic.
Yeah, it's a very, very stressful watch, but honestly, some of the best television of the year, because it's number 5 here, obviously, but so good. I really enjoyed this, and as someone who also has worked in the industry, there are moments that are just like, oh, so much, and just like it gives you like heart palpitations, but it's really worth the watch.
Yeah. All right. Number 4. At number 4, it is Queen Bey, Beyonce. She dropped her 7th studio album entitled Renaissance on June 29th, her first album since 2016's Lemonade. The highly anticipated album immediately shot to number 1 on the Billboard 200 chart, and the record's lead single, Break My Soul, also reached number 1 around the world, including the US Billboard Hot 100 singles chart. As if that weren't enough success, Renaissance earned 9 Grammy nominations, including Album of the Year, Song of the Year, and Record of the Year. In fact, those 9 nominations boosted Beyonce to a record 88 career Grammy nominations, tied now for the most of all time with her husband, Jay-Z.
Wow. I mean, it's Beyonce, right? I'm not surprised. And her songs all, they're on TikTok. If you made it to TikTok and you've got people dancing to your stuff, I mean, yeah, she's amazing. It's Beyonce.
Yeah, there are few artists anymore where a new album coming is actually an event. Taylor Swift is one of those. Beyonce is one of those. It's few and far between. So she did not disappoint, and people were waiting for this after 6 years.
Yeah.
And there it is. Moving along, number 3. Coming in at number 3, it's the incredible A24 movie Everything, Everywhere, All at Once, which is available to watch right now on Showtime and Paramount Plus. Produced by Marvel filmmakers Joe and Anthony Russo, the film focuses on a Chinese-American immigrant played by Michelle Yeoh, who discovers that she must join forces with parallel universe versions of herself to prevent the destruction of the multiverse. The multiverse is having a moment this year. The film has a 95% rating on Rotten Tomatoes and has been praised for its action sequences, incredible visual effects, imaginative storytelling, and the performances of Michelle Yeoh and Ka Hui Kwan, who you may remember as Short Round from the Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom movie, and Data from the Goonies. He actually left acting for nearly 30 years to work behind the camera, directing and doing stunt coordination, but he returned to the spotlight for this movie. He has an incredible interview on Jimmy Kimmel where he's just so thankful to be back and for the love he's gotten, and it's just so endearing. And if for no other reason, like, go and watch it to support this wonderful man who's so happy to be back making movies.
I agree. He just seems to have such a great presence online, and it's awesome to see so many people kind of like getting behind him. He just seems like such a sweet guy. Like, come on, who doesn't want to support that? So yeah, sign me up. Here for all of it.
Yes, and Michelle, I'm so glad she's having her moment for sure. She deserves that.
She is ageless. Like, the success she's had like over numerous like decades of work is incredible.
Yeah.
And her fight sequences and the stuff that she does in this movie is so damn cool. Like, I can't say enough about it. A24 rarely misses, so if that's any indication, go check it out. Number 2 is our pick for the best overall TV series of the year. Yes, number 2 is a TV show this year. It's the Apple TV Plus sci-fi drama Severance, starring Adam Scott, Zach Cherry, Britt Lower, John Turturro, Christopher Walken, and Patricia Arquette. Co-produced by Ben Stiller, the series follows Adam Scott's character, an employee at the mysterious Lumen Industries, who agrees to participate in the Severance program, which medically separates his work and non-work memories. It's hard to truly describe this show, and even harder to talk about it without spoiling plot points, but this is a show you'll want to talk about with friends. You just need to talk about it. And in my opinion, the Severance season 1 finale was the single best episode of television in all of 2022. It just was so tense, so perfectly executed. It was incredible. And Severance was nominated for 6 Primetime Emmy Awards at last September's ceremony, including Outstanding Drama, Lead Actor, Supporting Actor, and Supporting Actress. If you're looking for something unlike anything you've ever seen before, with sharp, clever writing and direction, especially in the sci-fi genre, like, I appreciate imaginative, different sci-fi. You really can't go wrong with Severance. Scott?
Love. I mean, I'm a big fan of Patricia Arquette, you know, ever since Nightmare on Elm Street, and, you know, Stigmata, all those classics. So it's just great to see her in this. And like, I agree, it's fantastic. And I think a lot of people share that sentiment that the the season finale was truly some of the best TV of the entire year. So can't fault it. 100% agree. Great position.
Perfect 5 seconds.
Yeah.
The last 5 seconds were perfect. I also can't hear the name Mark without hearing Patricia Arquette. Mark.
That's the Patricia Arquette effect, David.
Well, I haven't seen it yet, and I'm so glad that you can't talk about it because that'll ruin it. So I'm super excited to finally get to watch this.
Liz, this is like one of those ones. There's every once in a while there's shows where you like hear the hype and you almost resist it because of the hype. This is one you will not regret it. I promise.
I love that. Thank you, because you know me too well.
Last year's number 1 was a TV show. It was Mare of Easttown. This year, begrudgingly, it was Mare of Easttown for so many people. I liked it. Anyway, number 1 this year goes to a movie. Certainly, last but not least, it is the best piece of entertainment in 2022. It is Top Gun Maverick. As always, it's extremely difficult to create this list, even harder to choose a number one. But in terms of overall quality, box office performance, and pop culture significance, there was no better choice this year than Top Gun Maverick. Set more than 30 years after the iconic original film, Tom Cruise's Maverick is living the life as a test pilot when he's tasked with training a group of Top Gun graduates for a special assignment. The film co-stars Miles Teller as Rooster Bradshaw, the son of the original film's Goose character, as well as Val Kilmer, Jennifer Connelly, John Hamm, and Glenn Powell. The film has 96% on Rotten Tomatoes, but more importantly, it earned just shy of $1.5 billion at the box office around the world, making it the top grossing film of 2022. And as a holiday treat to everyone who hasn't seen it or those hoping to see it again, Top Gun Maverick drops on Paramount Plus on December 22nd, just in time for the holidays. I have still not seen it.
Wow. So, fun fact, neither have I. But I read an article that basically equated this, or said that this and Jackass the movie were essentially the same movie. And then I was like, well, that's weird. And then I read on a little bit, and it actually made a lot of sense. Basically, they're saying that it's, these legacy characters or people taking and passing the torch onto a younger generation. And, you can see that obviously with this, obviously hilarity ensues, craziness happens, and things there's not a lot of thinking that needs to happen in these. It's just like you rock up and you kind of buckle in for a good time. It's going to be full of action, and these people that have been around and they're not people who just like claim to be professional or legacy characters. They're people who have like the scars to prove it. Tom Cruise has been around forever. He's been doing his own stunts. Like he's proven, that he is a character and an actor that deserves to stay around. And I think Johnny Knoxville is sort of the same in his own special world, right? So it's fun to think about it that way. And that's kind of the only, I guess, visibility into this outside of the trailer that I have. So there's that.
I mean, before anyone out there thinks this decision was made uninformed, because the three of us have not seen it. As you know, there are more editors than just the three of us. We have a team of movie editors as well. Plenty of people have seen it, and we came to the consensus that this was the right move for number one for the year. It was
and every year we go into that meeting like Sharks versus Jets, like TV's team versus the movies team, like which one's going to be the winner. And they made some good points about why this deserved to win. It's a fun, we should just film it next year and just show us in the room literally going at it. Nothing that can be used as a projectile is allowed in the room. There's a lot of fun.
They remove all sharp objects.
Exactly.
We have to take our shoelaces off.
Exactly.
It's the whole thing.
Velcro only. It's a whole moment. Top Gun Maverick. Woo!
There it is. Did your favorite TV show, movie, song, album, or video game make our list? We didn't talk about video games in the top 10, but they are there. You can check out the entire 100 Best of Everything countdown. See what made 100 through 11 by saying Best of 2022 into your voice remote. And before we head out for the week and for the year, as always, we're here to help you organize your TV watch list in a segment called Plan Ahead. What to Watch Live goes on holiday break until 2023, so today we'll be looking at the next 2 weeks of premieres and finales, starting with the biggest and best debuts, and Scott's going to tell us all about it.
Let's
Scott,
go!
Do it!
It took a little while, but a new season of Jack Ryan will drop on Prime Video Wednesday, December 21st. It's hard to believe that it's been 3 years since John Krasinski graced our screens as the titular Mr. Ryan, but he's finally back, and this time he's hoping to thwart the plans of a small group of Russians hoping to preserve the USSR with threats of a nuclear strike. Sounds dicey, but let's be honest, if anyone can do it, it's John Krasinski. He saved the world from all types of villains and monsters several times over now. And if Bang Bang Pew Pew isn't your cup of tea, then consider saying bonjour biche to the Netflix series Emily in Paris, as a brand new season of the over-the-top dramedy hits the streamer on December 21st. If you're a fan, you probably already know what to expect: an insane amount of eye-searing outfit choices and boatloads of sexual tension, as per usual. And from the looks of the trailer, Emily ends up anxiously cutting her own bangs because, you know, if history has shown us anything, is that things always work out for anyone who takes fate into their own hands by way of a bang trim. More than 2 decades after the premiere of The Best Man, fans will be able to revisit the beloved film franchise and its iconic cast in a new limited series, The Best Man: The Final Chapters. All original cast members return for the 8-episode series, including some of my personal favorites: Regina Hall, Taye Diggs, Terrence Howard, and Harold Perrineau. Check it out exclusively on Peacock, December 22nd. And just in time for the holidays, one of the year's biggest films finally makes its way to streaming. After a lengthy holding pattern in theaters, Top Gun: Maverick lands on Paramount Plus December 22nd. For those unfamiliar, Tom Cruise reprises his iconic role as Pete Maverick Mitchell in an attempt to pass the torch to a new generation of daredevils. Naturally, nostalgia and spectacle abound, making for an easy and entertaining watch that is sure to please franchise fans and newcomers alike. Rounding out premieres, we have the highly anticipated sequel to the 2019 hit Knives Out. Daniel Craig is back in action as Detective Benoit Blanc, only this time he's on a sunny private island in Greece, so don't hold your breath for the return of Chris Evans' viral moth-eaten fisherman sweater. Now, I personally love a good whodunit, so I'm super excited about this one. All the clues point to a rollicking good time full of murder, mystery, and a maddeningly magnificent mise-en-scene. So be sure to check out Glass Onion: A Knives Out Mystery, December 23rd on Netflix.
Oh, you know I love some alliteration. That was a lot of M's.
So many M's. And look, you know, did it first take.
Wow.
One take Scott. Hey, we close out the
My
year
nickname in college.
We close out the year with the most anticipated finales between now and New Year's, and Liz is gonna give us the rundown. Bring us home, Liz.
Philip Pullman's trilogy of fantasy books come to life in the HBO Max series of the same name, His Dark Materials. The season ends on December 26th and follows a young girl who, while she's looking for her missing friend, discovers a twisted scheme of kidnapped children. Hulu's Fleischman is in Trouble will end on December 29th. Divorced and left with 2 young kids to raise on his own, Toby Fleischman has to quickly figure out what exactly is happening with his wife and actually his life as a whole. If you are into sexy, dangerous, and extremely sophisticated life of organized crime, I know you are sad. AMC's Gangs of London comes to an end on December 29th. If you haven't started, it's absolutely not too late to get into the action. Acorn TV's long-running series, Doc Martin, will wrap up its latest season on December 29th. This British dramedy is about a fancy doc who leaves the big city of London and moves to a sleepy town to practice. His fancy lifestyle and his lacking personality really rub the local folks the wrong way. Intelligence agents are banished and sent to work, and I use that term very loosely, in the department where dreams and careers go to die. Except this time, this team may be the exception as they find themselves in the middle of action once again. I'm talking about Slow Horses on Apple TV. Season ends on December 30th.
And that will do it for today's show. Thanks to my fellow Xfinity editors, Liz and Scott, for joining me this week, and for all the Xfinity editors for joining me all year here on What to Watch Live. Special thanks to National Treasure Edge of History star Catherine Zeta-Jones for hanging out with us today. Her new show is on now on Disney+. Shout out to our producers, Brad, Aaron, and everyone else behind the scenes for making this show run smoothly. We will be off for the next few weeks to celebrate the holidays, but we will be back in 2023 with even more of the best in TV and entertainment, and we hope you'll join us then. In the meantime, if you want to check out the TV shows and movies we talked about today, get more of our entertainment recommendations, or watch us interview big celebrities, just say what to watch into your voice remote. My name is David. Happy holidays, happy new year, and thank you for joining us all year long here on What to Watch Live.